One quiet morning, you step into your garden with a cup of coffee in your hand. The air is cool. The leaves are still wet with dew. Everything looks calm. The tomato plants are reaching toward the sun. The roses are opening. The peppers are covered in small green leaves. For a moment, it feels like the garden is exactly as it should be. Then you notice something. A curled leaf, then another. You lean closer. Tiny green insects are crowded along the newest stems. They are on the undersides of the leaves. They are gathered around the soft, new growth. Aphids. Hundreds of them. Your first thought is almost automatic. Where is the spray bottle? You know what aphids can do. They drain sap from young plants. They leave sticky honeydew behind. They make leaves curl. They weaken flowers before they bloom. So you turn toward the shed. But before you pick up that bottle, stop. Look again. Not just at the aphids. Look beside them. Look under the leaf. Look along the stem. There may be something else there. Something small. Something dark. Something with tiny bumps along its body. Something that does not look beautiful. It does not look gentle. It does not look like the red little beetle everyone knows. In fact, if you have never seen it before, you might think it is another pest. You might spray it. You might wipe it away. You might remove the very creature your garden needed most, because that strange little hunter on your plant is not your enemy. It is a ladybug. It just has not become one yet. And once you understand what ladybugs are really doing on your plants, from the moment they hatch to the moment their red wings open in the sun, you may never look at your garden the same way again. The story begins long before the red shell appears. It begins with a mother ladybug. She does not place her eggs randomly. She does not simply land on any leaf and hope for the best. She searches. She moves from plant to plant. She checks the soft new growth. She explores the undersides of leaves. She is looking for one thing: aphids. To a gardener, an aphid colony looks like trouble. To a mother ladybug, it looks like a nursery full of food. When she finds the right place, she lays tiny yellow eggs in a small cluster. They are often hidden beneath a leaf, close to the stem, close to the aphids, safe from direct sunlight, easy to miss. Many gardeners never notice them, and when they do, they sometimes remove them without knowing what they are. But inside each tiny egg, a hunter is forming. A few days later, the eggs begin to open, and what comes out surprises almost everyone. It is not round. It is not red. It does not have spots. It looks long and dark, almost like a tiny alligator. Its body may be black or charcoal gray, sometimes marked with orange. Its back may look rough and spiny. Its legs move quickly. Its head searches from side to side. This is the ladybug larva, and this is the stage when the ladybug may be most valuable to your garden. From the moment it hatches, it is hungry. It does not wait. It does not wander without purpose. It begins hunting. It searches the leaf where it was born. It moves toward the aphids around it. One aphid disappears, then another, then another. The larva is small, but its appetite is enormous. During its short life before becoming a pupa, one ladybug larva can eat hundreds of aphids. Every aphid it eats is one less insect feeding on your plant, one less insect producing more aphids, one less insect spreading across your garden. And the most important part is this: the larva does not spray everything. It does not poison the whole plant. It does not harm every insect in its path. It goes directly to the problem. A spray bottle cannot tell the difference between a pest and a helper. It may kill aphids, but it may also kill ladybug eggs, ladybug larvae, bees, lacewings, tiny wasps, and many other insects that keep a garden balanced. The ladybug larva is different. It is not a blanket solution. It is a living solution. It follows the food. It finds the colony. It handles the problem one aphid at a time. And while it is doing that, your garden may look quiet from the outside. You might walk past and see only leaves. But beneath those leaves, a small battle is happening. Aphids are feeding. Plants are signaling stress. Predators are arriving. And the balance of the garden is trying to repair itself. That is why experienced gardeners do not always panic when they see the first aphids. They look closer. They check for yellow eggs. They look for dark larvae. They look for adult ladybugs walking along the stems. because the appearance of pests is often only the first part of the story. The helpers may already be on their way, but the larva cannot remain a larva forever. After days of feeding, its body grows, then grows again. Its skin becomes too tight, so it sheds that skin. Then it eats more. Then it sheds again. Each stage makes it larger, stronger, and more effective, until one day, something changes. The little hunter slows down. It stops searching for aphids. It finds a safe place, maybe beneath a leaf, maybe on a stem, maybe on the side of a garden pot. Then it grips the surface and becomes still. If you saw it at this moment, you might think it was dead. But it is not dead. It is changing. The outer skin splits. The shape underneath becomes shorter and rounder. It becomes a pupa. To many people, the pupa looks like a strange little pod attached to a plant. It does not move much. It does not eat. It does not hunt. And because of that, many gardeners ignore it. Some even remove it. But inside that quiet shell, one of the most remarkable transformations in the garden is taking place. The body of the larva is being rebuilt. The crawling hunter is becoming a beetle. New legs form. Wings develop. Eyes change. The rounded body takes shape. The future red shell begins to form. Everything that made the larva look strange is giving way to the insect almost everyone recognizes. For several days, the pupa stays attached. The garden continues around it. Rain falls. Sunlight warms the leaves. Bees visit flowers. Aphids multiply on nearby stems. And inside the pupa, the ladybug is being remade. Then one morning, the case opens. A soft adult ladybug emerges. But even now, it may not look the way you expect. It is pale, sometimes yellow, sometimes orange. Its spots may be faint. Its shell looks soft and unfinished. For a while, it stays close to the empty pupal case. It cannot fly yet. It must wait. Air reaches its body. Sunlight warms it. Its shell begins to harden. The color deepens. The spots darken. Slowly, the ladybug becomes the bright little beetle we all know. Then it opens its wing covers. Thin wings unfold from beneath the shell, and the insect that spent its childhood crawling from leaf to leaf can now fly across the entire garden. But the red color is not just beautiful. It is a message. In nature, bright colors often mean warning. The red and black pattern tells birds and other predators that this insect is not a good meal. Ladybugs can release a bitter-tasting fluid when threatened. Many predators learn quickly to leave them alone. So the same insect that looks charming to us is also carrying a warning sign. Small does not mean helpless. Beautiful does not mean defenseless. And helpful does not mean weak. But there is another part of the ladybug story that every gardener should understand. Not every ladybug you see is the same. Some are native species. Some are introduced species. Some help in the garden but may become a nuisance when they gather inside homes in the fall. In North America, many people confuse native ladybugs with Asian lady beetles. Asian lady beetles can vary in color from yellow-orange to deep red. Some have many spots. Some have almost none. Many have a dark marking behind the head that can look like the letter M. They also eat aphids, so they can be useful in gardens, but they are more likely to gather in large numbers on houses when the weather cools. They may enter attics, walls, and windowsills to overwinter. Native ladybugs are often less noticed, and many native species have declined over time because of habitat loss, pesticide use, and competition. This is one reason the spray bottle matters so much. When a garden is sprayed again and again, it does not only remove the pests, it removes the food that ladybugs need. It removes the eggs and larvae before they can grow. It removes the tiny workers that would have controlled the next aphid outbreak naturally. Then the garden becomes more dependent on spraying. More pests appear. More spray is used. Fewer beneficial insects survive. Then even more pests return. It becomes a cycle. The garden loses its balance. And every season, the gardener has to fight harder. But breaking that cycle can begin with one simple decision. Wait. When you see aphids on your plants, do not rush immediately. Look closer for 3 days. Check the undersides of leaves. Look for yellow eggs. Look for dark alligator-shaped larvae. Look for orange and black pupae attached to stems. Look for adult ladybugs walking slowly through the colony. If they are there, give them time. They may already be doing the work you are about to do with chemicals, and if you want more ladybugs in your garden, the answer is not only to buy them. Many people buy bags of ladybugs, release them at night, and hope they stay. Sometimes they do, often they fly away. A better long-term approach is to build a garden they actually want to live in. Give them food when aphids are not abundant. Adult ladybugs also use pollen and nectar. Small flowers can help support them. Dill, fennel, yarrow, marigold, cilantro flowers, alyssum. Let a few herbs bloom. Let parts of the garden be a little less perfect. Leave some leaf litter in quiet corners. Leave hollow stems through winter. Avoid broad sprays, even ones that sound gentle, if they kill insects without choosing. A perfectly clean garden may look controlled, but it may not offer shelter. It may not offer winter protection. It may not offer the small, hidden places where helpful insects survive. A living garden is not always spotless. Sometimes it has a few curled leaves, a few aphids, a few rough edges. And in those rough edges, the next generation of helpers may be waiting. This does not mean you should ignore every pest problem. Sometimes plants need help. Sometimes an infestation becomes too large. Sometimes a damaged plant must be protected. But the first response does not always need to be spray. Sometimes the first response should be observation. Because the moment you look closer, the garden becomes more complicated and more hopeful. The aphids are not the whole story. The curled leaves are not the whole story. The strange dark creature on the stem is not a threat. It may be the answer. It may be the reason that plant recovers. It may be the reason your roses bloom again. It may be the reason your tomatoes keep growing through summer. That is the part most people miss. The ladybug is not just a cute red insect children draw in picture books. It is not just a symbol of luck. It is a predator, a survivor, a gardener, a tiny red and black worker moving through the green world of your plants. And before it ever becomes beautiful, it spends its first life doing the hard work that most people never see, hidden under leaves, moving through aphid colonies, hunting in the places where the damage begins. So the next time you walk into your garden and see aphids gathered on a stem, pause before you reach for the bottle. Look beneath the leaf. Look along the stem. Look for the eggs. Look for the larva. Look for the pupa. Look for the little red beetle moving quietly through the problem. Because what you find there may change what you do next. You may discover that your garden is not helpless. You may discover that nature has already sent help. And you may discover that the creature you are about to remove is the one protecting everything you hope to save. Have you ever seen a ladybug larva and thought it was a pest? Have you ever watched ladybugs clear aphids from a plant without spraying anything at all? Did you grow up believing ladybugs were just lucky little insects? Or did you know how much work they were doing in the garden? Tell me your story in the comments. I would love to hear what you have seen on your own plants. And if today is the first time you realize that the strange dark insect beside the aphids might be a ladybug in disguise, then maybe the next time you find one on your plants, you will not reach for the spray bottle. You will lean closer. You will watch for a moment, and you will let the smallest gardener in your yard continue its work. I will see you in the next one.